funny. Well guys, in this little box is the HOVERAir X1 pocket-sized flying camera. This isn't your typical drone like a DJI Mini 2 or the DJI Air 3 or anything like that. They've designed this drone to be so simple to use that a caveman could do it. If you get that reference, you're old like I am, so congratulations. Let's get this box open, see what's in here. So you can pull on this tab, I guess. But check that out, that's what you get in the box. So you get your drone that's in this package, charging controller hub, and then you get an extra battery. And then lastly, what is this? It's just a piece of foam. There's nothing in there. I'm not ever very good about opening packages on camera. I always seem to either forget something or I break something. Okay, that slid open pretty easy. Now there's another box. What? Oh, there we go. Oh, there's the drone right there. I just dumped everything out. This is it, guys. Whoa, it's soft. That's a really soft material. Nobody's mentioned that before. That's really, look at that, how pliable that is. You can actually see the plastic giving way. I guess that's pretty good for when I crash it, because you know I'm going to. There is a battery that's already installed here. Let me see if I can figure out how to get it off of there. Ugh, nope. I'll have to read the instructions, I guess, or have Christy help me. I wonder if there's any charge to this thing right now. I've got one light of battery here on this battery, so I've got to charge these batteries up. So I'm going to go inside, get these batteries charged up, and we're going to learn how to use this thing. This is pretty cool. All right, guys, I'm back. I've got the batteries all charged up. They got 4 dots of power on each of them. And I'm actually surprised it didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. Now, they say in the manual, if you charge the batteries in the charging hub, it only takes about 35 minutes. But if you charge the batteries in the drone itself, it can take up to 55 minutes. They also say that each battery gives you about 11 minutes or so of flight time. So having 2 batteries may be essential to you being able to get the footage that you want to on an outing. Just so you guys know too, you have your choice of colors when it comes to the HOVERAir. You can either get black or white. We chose the white, and that was more Christy's logic. She said that it would be a lot easier to see when it's up in a tree after I crash it. Well, as you guys know, I'm not a tech type of guy, and a lot of this stuff, if not all of it, it's way above my head. So I was surprised that they contacted us and asked us to review their camera. Maybe they just wanted a true novice to be able to pick this drone up and prove how easy it is to fly it. Maybe that's the case. If you guys are anything like I am, you're thinking to yourself, what on earth would I use this self-flying miniature camera for? Well, they've designed the HOVERAir to be sort of a bring-along companion. It's something that is convenient enough to bring along with you wherever you want to go. It fits in your pocket if your pocket's big enough, and you can pull it out of your pocket, and within seconds you can have some cinematic footage that you've been looking for. It fits in my pocket. Hey, my pocket's big enough. Let's talk about real quick what the HOVERAir is not. It's not your typical DJI drone where you're trying to fly up really high and get scenery and footage like that. This is more of a selfie type camera. So it's meant to fly low, it's meant to fly close to you, it's meant to fly around people. Well, the HOVERAir uses a visual downward visioning position system. It's called a VIO. They call it the visual inertial odometry. I don't know exactly what that means. It's, again, way above my head, but somebody knew what that was and they've implemented it and it works really well. It also uses a laser altitude system to figure out its location rather than a GPS signal. I guess what that means is it somehow recognizes its surroundings and it won't get lost. Since this isn't a GPS type of drone, there's some limitations on where it can fly. It can't fly in dimly lit areas, it can't fly in areas with more than a 10-meter drop-off, it can't fly at night, and it can't fly above water. It does have some limitations, but honestly, if you're out there trying to take selfies in the dark, what's the point of that? The HOVERAir has an enclosed design, and it makes it safe to fly around people without worrying about exposed props and other hazards. You can crash this thing into people and it's not going to hurt them. They give you this carrying bag that you can use to carry your drone in, or you can also use, it's such a soft material, you can also use it to wipe off your lens if it gets dirty. But this drone weighs about 125 grams, including the battery. So all this stuff in this pouch in your pocket, it's not going to weigh you down. It's going to be very easy to walk around with. Its compact design coupled with its palm takeoff and landing, you can set up a shot and start recording within seconds. And upon completion of the shot, you can simply and literally grab it out of the air. You can use this with the HOVERAir app and fly it manually like a regular drone, but there are some limitations on that as well. It's got a height limit and a distance limit that's not very far. But that's not at all what this was designed for. I think that they're shying away from that, and they really want you to focus on the use of this as a selfie camera, a self-flying camera. The HOVERAir has 5 different intelligent flight modes designed to give the user the ability to capture unique shots. You can also use the app to change different flight settings like distance and duration, and even flight angle. They're constantly adding new advanced modes like the dolly and snapshot modes, which you can use under your custom setting. So they're really thinking outside of the box and trying to come up with new ideas and new ways to use this. One last thing that I have to mention about this little thing is that it has the ability to record sound to your recordings. Well, this thing doesn't just record sound. It also uses a proprietary noise reduction algorithm to suppress the sound of propellers and sync the recorded sound to the video on your phone. Well, this isn't only canceling out the sound of the props, it's also canceling out the sound of the lawnmower, I think. And if it's doing that, great job, HOVERAir. It's probably not perfect sound, but it's definitely better than having this in the background. So with all that talking out of the way, let me pack this thing up in this little carrying case. And we'll go out there into the real world and we'll do some demonstrations and see what it can really do. Get in there. Well, we're heading to our spot. Christy said I had to change shirts because that green shirt didn't match. I don't know what, matched the hat or the shorts, I'm not sure. All right, well, we've made it to our fabulous location. I don't know if you guys can see the culvert that's across the road there to block it off, but that's pretty cool, huh? I just wanted to come out and do a couple of quick demonstrations and show you how easy this thing is to use. Now, they don't recommend that you fly this in wind because it's so light, and it is a little bit windy right now. I'm not really sure exactly what the winds are like. I haven't checked it out. You can probably see the movement of the trees. This may not be a good day to demonstrate this, but this wouldn't be We're the Roberts if we didn't, right? You don't need a controller, you don't need anything to fly this drone. You just need these two buttons that are on this drone. You need the power button and the select button. So all you got to do is you got to turn the power button on, so hold it down for like 3 seconds. You'll see the light turn green, I think. And then the gimbal is going to do a little up and down movement to show that it's on. There it goes. So now this thing, once it does that ding, it's ready to go. And she speaks kind of loud. So right now she's in the hover mode, but I want to select to the zoom out mode, which is going to be right here. So all you got to do is you got to hit this select button. Zoom out. And she's at the zoom out mode right now. You just have to hit the power button to get her to start. Well, let me see how far out she's going to go. So you hold down the select button, 10 feet, and she'll tell you how far out she's going to go. So I'm going to go out a little further than that. Let me hold the button down again. 20 feet. And she's going to go out 20 feet and zooming out. So this is going to be pretty cool. Watch this. 20 feet. Zoom out. She's trying to compensate for the wind. Hopefully she comes back to me. That's it though, that is really, really cool. And she'll go out and she'll stop, and then she'll come back and she'll start the recording up again. And she comes right back to you. When the light turns green, you know she's ready to land. So you put your hand out and you catch her. Guys, again, if I can do this, anybody can. Now, one of my favorite features on this is the circle mode. I've got 3 favorites. The zoom out, the circle, and the follow mode are my 3 favorites. But let me get over to the circle.
Follow. Orbit.
It's called orbit, I guess. Let me see how far out she's going to go to orbit.
13 feet.
So 13 feet. Let's see what she does whenever she goes 13 feet out and does an orbit.
13 feet. Orbit.
I hope it's set high, because if it's not, she might crash into the truck. This is what's called, I think, the flat orbit is what I've got it set at. You can change these settings in the app itself, the height and the distance, but you can also change it in you can change the distance in the drone itself, or camera. So she's just flying around a big circle. Watch this. Oh, she raised up a little bit on the truck because she thought she was too low. How cool is that? And she's going to come right back to me when she's finished. And she recognizes your hand is under her, and then she tries to land it. I almost missed it because I looked away and I probably moved my hand.
Zoom out. Follow.
Okay, so I've now got her in follow mode. So I'm going to hit that power button, and she's going to launch.
Follow.
And she's just going to follow me around. This is going to be pretty cool. You guys are going to enjoy this. So I'm just going to walk around, and she's going to follow me like there's no issues. If I duck down, she ducks down. If I raise up, she raises up. I think she's locked onto your head and shoulders, but I'm not 100% sure about that. She's still following me, and I can hear her right behind me. You can set the distance that she is following behind you to close or to far away. So if you want to get more of a perspective of where you are, then you can set it for farther away. But here she is. She's just turning around following me, and a lot of people have done a lot of demonstrations on this about how she can go into the woods and kind of maneuver around objects and stuff. I'm not going to try that today, but there's a lot of videos out that show that. It doesn't claim to have any type of obstacle avoidance, but I really do think that it can tell where it's at and how close it is to objects, probably by that vision system. We'll walk by the mirror here and see what she does. She did fine. All you got to do is turn around and stop, walk over towards her, put your hand out, and she'll recognize that she's ready, or that she's done, and she'll land in your hand.
Dolly track.
And I've got her set for dolly track in the custom. So this is going to lead me from the front.
Continue. Dolly track.
And she's going to raise up. And whenever that light turns red, she's recording. It's turning red right now, so she's recording me. So I want to just walk towards her, and she's just going to lead me whichever direction I go. If I go this way, she's going to turn and follow me that way. If I turn around this way, she'll try to get back in front of me, and she'll lead me from that point. Sometimes she'll lose you, so it's a little bit tricky. You got to kind of learn how to use this one, and I've not really learned how to use it very well. One thing that also got me was how to get her to come back to you at the end, because if you continue to go after her like that, she'll just continue to fly away. So I got to back up so I can get her away from that ravine. But look how she's fighting the wind. You can tell. But all you got to do is you got to stop for three or 5 seconds, and then she'll realize that you're finished, and then she'll kind of stop recording, or she'll come right back to you, and she'll stop recording, and then you can just catch it and turn it off like that, because that was kind of windy. That was a demonstration I was wanting to save for later. Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy this thing or have fun with it or even find a useful purpose for it whenever they first contacted me. But I'm telling you what, this thing is cool. If I can portray one thing, I want to just portray how easy this is to use. She shut herself down because she sat there too long and didn't have anything to do. I guess she got bored. Well, I know that I haven't covered even close to everything about this drone. If you're interested in more information about this, there's going to be a link in the description. Just click on it, it'll take you to their page. If you're interested in buying one of these, I would recommend buying the one with the 2 batteries and the charging hub, because that'll save you some time in the long run. Also, I'll put a couple of links to some of my favorite review videos that I've seen on YouTube in the description as well, so you guys can check them out. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. God bless. And she's going to sit there and hover until I make her stop. And one way that you can make her stop is you can put your hand underneath her and have her land on it, or you can just simply grab her in the midair and flip her over and she'll stop. I don't know if I'd recommend doing it that way. It's in the options, but it might be a little hard on the motors. Kind of like your DJI drones. Is that a drone in your pocket?